And Late Night Health continues with our regular contributor, Robert Clancy, the author of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Soul. And we're going to talk about, I guess, camping and canoeing and nature today. Robert, you just came back from a canoeing trip with your son.
Yes. So today I was going to focus on the power of nature because we learned what the power of nature was over the weekend. I did a 5-mile canoe trip with my son and his Boy Scout troop, and we camped on an island. So my inspirational thought is, when it comes down to it, the nature of everything is love. And there's so much power in that. When I was out, there were no other boats on this lake. The wind started kicking up, and it's quite a large lake in the Adirondacks of upstate New York. And it can get really treacherous going out of there. They actually warned us that if the wind goes over 7 miles an hour, you're going to have some major problems. And the wind was clocking in about 14 miles an hour.
Oh, my gosh, Robert.
Yeah, and canoeing 3 miles in that with the wind and trying to negotiate the waves and keeping the canoe, not easy to maneuver a canoe and make sure that it's in the right position every time. But one of the things that while I was doing that, and once I got around this one challenging point, you really would just want to stop. My fingers were hurting. It was cold. It was about 38 degrees outside. And you just want to stop. And I looked over, and the sun was just cresting, and the sunrise was absolutely stunning on this lake. And it just kind of brings a calm to you. And I actually heard, it was Grylls. He was on one of those Survivor shows, and he said, some people actually survive by just stopping and taking in nature. It helps your mindset. And it'll, just looking at the structure of leaves or something, some person survived out several days because their mental and attitude and their approach to it was there. And that's really the key. And love is kind of the math of everything, and it's threaded in nature. So I really took that in and got to the other shore. We made it out of there. I survived another one. Where
I live in Southern California, we have a lot of trails, and I don't know if there's camping, but I know that there's hiking, you can bike. And the last couple of months, the hills have been so beautiful and green because of the rain that we've had. And as you know, I was away last week and the week before, and in 2 weeks, the greenness has faded considerably, maybe 50%. But looking at the beauty of the mountains, and these are the Santa Monica Mountains that I'm looking at, it's awe-inspiring. Just looking, I love it. I go in my backyard almost every night about 10 o'clock at night. Lights are out. Look up at the stars. Once in a while, we'll see shooting stars, but it's tranquil and it's beautiful.
Yeah, and the important part is with your health and relating it back to that, taking that moment of peace and just what I call drinking in with your eyes what is around you, the nature, it can bring a calm to you, and it definitely affects your health in a positive way when you have that approach. And so if you're stressed out, I highly advise just going out and taking a mini vacation of just observing what is around you. So many times we're often, when you're running around, you never have time to really think about those things, and just stop for a moment and take it in. And, it really can change not only your outlook on the day, but it'll affect your health and your life in profound positive ways.
Stopping to smell the roses.
Yeah.
That's really what we're talking about. And I agree. I think it's important. One of the things in nature that my wife and I have done, I mentioned this earlier in the show, we created our first, after all of our years together, organic garden. And we planted about I don't know, 20 plants. We've only killed 5 so far. But it was fun. I'd be down on my hands and knees and had a little trowel and digging, and we were talking, and it was fun. It was a fun experience. And
I love the metaphor of a garden, especially when I relate it to my own life, because when you think about it, everything that's in a garden is what you need to grow, live, and survive. You need good roots. You need to look up at the light. You need an occasional cloudy day, a little bit of rain, because it sets you right to appreciate those brighter days.
Oh, okay. You got my question.
So
you knew my
question
question.
For you.
Got it. You knew my question, because why do we need cloudy days?
Yeah, go watch Being There.
Yeah, right, exactly. Robert, thank you very much. Robert has some really interesting things coming up in May and June. New books, videos, all kinds of good stuff. We'll be talking about that, I know, in the next couple of weeks. In the meantime, Robert, have a great day, and we will talk soon.
All right, thank you so much, and you too.
Thank you. Coming up next, John Taylor will be talking about probiotics. Don't go away as Late Night Health continues, and be sure to visit us at latenighthealth.com.